welcome back to the talk show. I am Andra, and today I'm joined by Heather. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
So today we are going to be talking about distribution. So Heather works inside of an amazing distributor actually locally here in Florida, Tech Data.
Yes.
And I'm going to let her give a little baby background. Her and I actually go back to distribution days when I was in distribution as well, and she's amazing. So wanted to have her on today and talk about a lot of the hot topics that I know I hear a lot of conversations about. I have a ton of them while I'm out at events. Distribution's role in the channel right now, what that looks like, how everyone feels about it, the role that it should play, is playing, shouldn't play, all of that. So we're going to talk about all of that today, and we're going to kind of unpack it a little bit. But give us a quick background on who you are, what you're doing in the channel right now, and what that looks like.
Sure. So I work for Tech Data. We're here in Clearwater, Florida, and I've been with Tech Data for 21 years, and in that 21 years, I've been responsible for all of our vendor management parts of the organization. Mm-hmm. So from handling marketing to product marketing, worked my way up from an individual contributor all the way up to a VP. So that's the role I hold today. Awesome. So I run our security solutions group for the U.S.
Awesome.
And we have about, 20, 30 vendors in our portfolio right now.
Very cool. And security obviously is another extremely hot topic. So we're going to double down on hot topics today. So we're going to talk about distribution, and then we're going to double click a little bit and talk about security. Perfect. So let's just start off with the high level. So is distribution dead is like the term that everyone's always using, but bring us into where distribution is playing today, and then we'll kind of dig into it a little bit.
Yeah, so here's the great thing. Distribution is playing everywhere.
Awesome.
And, back in the day, they said, the desktop is dead. Mm-hmm. Everybody believes everything's going to die. Right. Nothing really dies.
It all takes on a different form. Yeah,
we transform. Yes. So you need to talk about digital transformation. Well, this is business transformation. Mm-hmm. And, we're a pretty large distributor, and we have done that. We've made massive, massive changes in our organization. So
talk about that. I'm going to stop you really quick. So talk about Tech Data along with, I call it the Easter egg hunt of acquisition, because I feel like right now in our space, there are companies just going and picking up all these other companies.
Sure.
And so talk about actually the makeup right now of Tech Data. There was a big, there's a lot of acquisition and other things going on. So talk about that first, and then let's dig into the play it has in the space.
Sure. So we just closed a major acquisition, DLT, right? So that's putting us in the government space. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about, what's different and how do we change and how do we evolve? I was reading an email the other day and saying, hey, what is distribution doing now? Are they still just a bunch of box pushers? Mm-hmm. That's so old. We have cloud solutions. We have MSP solutions. Mm-hmm. We have, some of the ways we've even transformed our endpoint business and the value we're bringing is huge. So we're continuing to invest in areas where, we may not have the expertise, so we're going to go down the path of acquisition.
Yep.
And DLT, I would tell you, is probably one of the biggest, most material acquisitions we've made in a long time. I'm really excited about that one.
And what are a couple of the others? Because there's been a lot in the past 2 years.
Well, we obviously acquired Avnet.
Yes,
that's a big one.
A big one, yes.
I was going to forget about that because it was so long ago.
That's a really big one. So,
So that was huge.
Yes.
It was huge.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you, some of the, one of the things about distribution, at least for me, and, that's how we became friends, is the people you meet and the people you get to work with.
Yes.
I meet a ton of really smart people. When we made the Avnet acquisition, the folks that came with that acquisition are freaking amazing.
Asset. Yep.
Huge asset.
And everyone I talk to says the same thing. Yeah, no, I agree.
They're
Very cool.
super smart people. I'm not saying,
Yeah, no, it's great though.
They're not, but they add so much value. Mm-hmm. So that's another way we've transformed. We've gone from highly product focused and cloud focused to now the value we bring to the table is enormous.
Talk about some of that value. So what does that look like? I think people are a huge asset, and I think digging into acquisitions such as that bring on awesome people that are already doing great things inside of a company that is established and doing amazing things in cloud spaces and such that you want to be even bigger part of. So talk through some of those layers of value that came with that, and then we'll dig into some.
Well, one's very personal. This is a really good segue. So they had built out these specialized business units that were an overlay to the regular business. So traditionally in distribution, you have the vendor management teams that own the vendor relationships, and they're very, I wouldn't say siloed, but they're maniacally focused on driving a number to achieve some of the vendor goals so that we as distributors can make margin.
Yep, absolutely.
So you've got the folks that are very focused on their vendors. And then they had come up with this concept of SSP, which is an overlay. So now my entire security division is a part of the security business unit. So you've got one around IoT and analytics, you have got one around cloud, you've got one around security. That's something that was innovative and new that they brought to the table, and we brought those teams together and we've advanced them. And now these are global practices.
Talk about those practices. So because what I think is fun to talk through when it comes to distribution too is that oftentimes vendors and partners have a hard time understanding what saying security inside of distribution or a security team inside of distribution. Right. What does that mean? Does that mean someone who what are they doing inside of there to help partners with security solutions or bringing on vendor security solutions? What is that glue in the middle, which is distribution? What is that value that they're bringing to the table?
Sure. So this is how we brought it together. So we've made that Avnet acquisition. We've integrated all the teams. And now this is a great segue into, I've got security. So I'm not the only leader in security. So Alex Riles is my boss. He came from the Avnet acquisition. And, what he and his team merged with the team that Tracy Holtz and I have put in place and brought together. You now have all of the vendor specialists that reside in Tracy's organization.
And product marketing.
Marketing. And they are experts on every single one of the vendors we bring on board.
Awesome.
Then you have Alex's organization, and they are experts in the security practices. And what they do, they built out this entire program called Security Practice Builder. And we go to market and we actually teach a partner how to build a practice. Huge. And I will tell you, in the last year, so the last 12 months, we have put 35 different partners through Practice Builder. It's a 6 to 9 month engagement.
So that's a lot of commitment
where
from
they
the
have a dedicated person from our team. They've got dedicated teams on theirs. And we walk them step by step through what it takes to build a practice. Awesome. And now we're starting to see sales and see them build some solutions that they're taking to market.
Absolutely.
That obviously the idea is they buy all that stuff from Tech Data, they put it together and go to market. Right?
I think I think that layer is really important. And I think that it's a huge piece to why a partner would see value in distribution, because the olden days, I'll say, is distribution is a middle engagement to just, even if it's volume licensing or if it is box pushing or if it is that. But if there's extra value when it comes to business development, that's gigantic, because as an aggregate, right, bringing the vendors together, bringing the partners together, that's distribution. Being able to buy and sell products and solutions through at different discounts and agreements and such. The next piece of helping these partners sort out how to morph their business, whether you're changing over from an old school VAR to an MSP, and a CSSP, all the P's. But yes. And so when you're going there, and when you're going there to that next level, having anyone to lean on, such as your disty partner, to say, hey, okay, this is how you're going to go to market. These are vetted. I'm sure you've got vetted solutions that you say, hey, we as Disty stand behind this portfolio, so we're going to help you not only build out your practice, but then, hey, you're the portfolio partners and how you use them. So I think that's awesome, and you're seeing a good uptake.
We are seeing a good uptake. We talk about the solution practice consultants. Here's what's unique and different about them. These are ex-business owners. So we didn't hire IT consultants. We hired people who had genuine security practices to come in and to become the experts to help our VARs build their own practices. They're doing an amazing job. So this is where it gets even better. I said, we're 35 partners in. I have over 8,000 partners that are buying security products from us. So how do we scale that? We are getting ready to launch a Digital Practice Builder.
Love it. Okay, tell me about it.
So Digital Practice Builder has all of the same elements that you would get in a standard, face-to-face interaction. But what it does is it's going to start pulling apart the different pieces and allow our practice consultants to really dive in and say, you know what, this is the best way that I could help these guys. And
now, is it a digital assessment? Like if I'm a partner,
there's an assessment
do I go in and I do an assessment, and then that consultant gets the record of whatever it was that I did, and they go, okay, great, Andra needs help in these 3 places. Now it scales my time. I don't have to start from scratch and say, tell me about your business. I go, okay, great, I looked over your assessment. This is where you need help. Let's talk about that.
That's just one piece of it.
That's awesome.
Literally, so you go through the entire practice builder, and you may not need a consultant afterwards. What you're going to do is you're also going to be able to self-select the areas you want extra help in. So there's modules around marketing and go-to-market. There are, modules on, how do you actually set up the practice? How do you decide what the right solutions are?
So like an LMS, like I could go in and go, okay, cool, I want to take this course, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's awesome.
It's really exciting. We track everything. So in addition to the solution practice consultants, which is, like I said, it's a high-touch engagement, we also have vendor agnostic folks. So you would see in normal traditional distribution that, you've got the vendor folks that are dedicated to just your one vendor.
Yes.
They become the experts, and you need that. You
Yeah.
absolutely need that. But when you're building across multiple portfolios, you need more than that. So we have different layers of experts that are experts in all around security.
Awesome.
And we keep them educated, we keep them certified, and those are all value-added assets for all of our partners.
So they engage with those resources how? So if I come in and I'm a partner, do you have something internally where you say, oh, well, Andra needs high touch, or hey, she can actually have one of these resources that can help her kind of sort through what products she...
Well, they either find us or we find them.
Yeah, true. Okay, very true.
All these
I like
events
that.
we're going to, right? So that's part of our, charter for this next year is to recruit more partners. And in addition to that, we are always getting new partners coming to us and saying, hey, I need help here. So we have an entire organization designed to help people at whatever stage they're at.
Now, if I'm a vendor, let's flip it really quick. So if I'm a partner, I think that's absolutely awesome because some of that I actually didn't know. So if I'm learning it, someone else probably was learning it too. I would hope. So I think that it's amazing to be looking at it from a consultative perspective because. Again, it used to be if you're talking to one person, they've got one interest. It's this one vendor that I represent versus I'm representing you. And we call that partner first, right? So it's a partner first mentality. You're going, hey, partner, I'm looking out for you first, and then I'm going to bring in the vendors and the solutions and all of these other things I think you need to run your business. Because I think right now, one of the biggest disruptions that I think we're all seeing, and me particularly as well over the last few years, is I think vendors, partners, disties, everyone really is realizing, look, we need to be looking partner first always because all of our goals is that the partner sells more and grows because then they'll pull through more either from tech data, from their vendor, whatever it is, like they're going to pull through more of the products and services. So enabling them to do that and knowing that, okay, great, if they're successful and we already have a loyal relationship, they're going to pull through us anyways. It's going to be great. Sure. So that's a partner perspective. Talk us through the vendor value add. Like if I'm a security vendor or I'm just a vendor in general, why would I go to tech data?
So the first part of the question you had earlier was, is distribution dead?
Yes.
No. So today there's at least 2,000 different vendors out there in the market that sell a security solution. 2,000 vendors.
And that's just security.
You're a vendor. You're an MSP or you're a VAR. Are you going to go work directly with 2,000? Who's going to vet those for you?
Yep.
That's our job in distribution. So I would tell you, we don't have 2,000 vendors on our line card. My team and our responsibility is to literally go out and vet all of those different solutions and all of those different vendors. And there's going to be some that are on the cutting edge that maybe aren't ready for prime time yet, and we're going to take them under our wing, and we're going to teach them about distribution, and we're going to bring them into the fold, and we're going to launch them. And we call those our incubation vendors. Yep. And we probably have a bench of 500 we're looking at any given time.
Awesome.
And then you've got the folks that are already doing some business in the channel. They're a little more vetted. They might have a handful of VARs they're working with today and some MSPs, but they don't have any way of growing. So when you look at the breadth and depth that we have in our partner portfolio, for a vendor to really scale their business, they do need distribution. And they need a distributor that's there to help them, that's going to make sure, we're going to vet the solutions, we're going to show you how to put it right in the portfolio, we're going to help you with your pricing, and we're going to help you build out your marketing and your go-to-market. So every vendor we bring in, we build business plans with them, we work with them to build marketing plans and routes to market specific through going through distribution into the channel.
And how that works. I think
how it works.
One of the biggest misconceptions with distribution in general too, coming from, we're talking just the vendor side, is that, oh, you know what, now I think I'm big enough, I'm going to go latch on to, I'm going to be a remora and go latch onto this whale of tech data, and all of a sudden I'm going to get my item, get on that line card, and all of a sudden everything is going to sell like wildfire, and I'm going to be the best vendor ever, and everyone's going to know about me. And so I think having not been in, like, as a growing vendor, it's always that dream of going and creating your army out there for you, be it a distributor to sell on behalf of you, be it like finding these outlets to go more one to many versus all this one to one to one to one to one. And so I think knowing how to engage with the distie is huge. Knowing how a distie is going to support you from a vendor perspective and say, hey, look, not everyone gets on our line card number one, which is important, because if I'm a partner and I know that just anyone gets on your line card, I might not be able to trust buying things from you. But if I know that you have teams internally that are looking at all the solutions, and then if it's on the line card, it's because it's tried and true and tested and so on and so forth. And then if I'm a vendor, I know that you're going to go lockstep with me and help me in this very confusing time of getting the product out as far as they want it to. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Well, they look at it, right? The whole point of signing up distribution is to expand your base and to grow your business. And everybody wants to do that. And, you know, one of the areas that we always look at with these folks is, you know, let's look at the white space. Where are you not targeting today? Where are you not getting your business today? And we can go down into different vertical markets. We can help them, like, you know, if healthcare is the path that you want to go down, we know how to get you there. You know, and there's the beauty of it. We don't even pretend to do it all ourselves. Right? We partner with different people. We partner with you. We partner with other companies. Right? We don't pretend to be the be-all, end-all. Right? So we have an amazing team. Like my leadership team and vendor management team are probably best in class when it comes to security and vendor management. Our marketing organization is fantastic. But here's where we say distribution's not dead. We're much better at partnering.
Love it.
So we're partnering with our MSPs. We're partnering with all of the different agencies and all the different companies out there that, you know, can help add value for everyone.
And I think
why say myopic?
Absolutely. I think what you're saying, and that is, I think, very powerful, is being that aggregate. So just like now consultative sales is what it is, it's because someone can actually go in and say, hey, what's in the best interest of your business? It's the same thing, but from an aggregate, but the nucleus, right? So the nucleus of the channel is disty from the standpoint of, hey, look, we're going to aggregate the relationships, we're going to vet the relationships for you, and we're going to be the one that you can turn to and scale your time. Because we all know, whether it's a vendor or an MSP, there is thousands of options. If you're an MSP, there's thousands of options, and not only just for security. You're talking 2,000 for security. Think about all the other solutions in your stacks. Think about every other go-to-market, not to mention what you're going to do for lead generation and marketing, what you're going to do for security, what you're going to do for backup, everything, right? So you got to make sure that you have partners, be it a disty partner, that you can toy onto your ecosystem and have a good go-to-market strategy for yourself. So it's the same. I think partnership and relationship building is something that we're all doing a lot of talking about, because it's that strong, and not thinking, hey, we're going to be everything to everyone and let's see if we can be it better and faster than the next person. That's not the best game plan. The best strategy is saying, hey, you know what? We're going to be this really awesome, and then who else can we pair up with who can help bring the full story to market, so that when that partner comes over, that MSP, that vendor, you've got a breadth of things that you can share out no matter who it's coming from. So I think that that's awesome.
And I think that's why you see there's a lot of acquisition happening.
Yep, absolutely. Right? Everyone's going, okay, great. How can we be?
How do we consolidate?
Yeah.
Right. And that, you know, you nailed it, because, you know, that's who we are. We are a solutions aggregator. So the fact that we have so many different vendors on our line card that have been vetted, we have the ability to build out solutions that nobody else can build out.
Yep. If I'm a partner, and if I'm saying, you know what, I get it, sure, there's a lot of consultants in there, and there's yes, you're vetting solutions, but I already know my solutions that I love. I already have the things that I think I love the most. What are they missing not partnering with a disty, in particular tech data, from your perspective?
Well, if they've already got their solutions built out, there's no way, well, I shouldn't say there's no way. If they're only working with one vendor, that might be okay and easy, but then they're missing some other parts of the solution. So what I would venture to guess is they don't have somebody that's out vetting a bunch of different solutions. And it's not easy to onboard a new vendor.
True.
It could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to get one onboarded, whether it's just at the VAR, MSP level, or at distribution.
Yeah.
So who has time for that? Nobody has time for that. That's time and money, and then you have to get into your system. Yep. And then you're going through contracts.
Absolutely.
So we do all that for you. There is no reason to have all of those direct relationships. I think the days of those direct relationships with all the different vendors were back with, you know, the big five. Yep. And, you know, the old days of just, you know, IBM, the Microsoft, and the HPs of the world. And you see all of those vendors now, they're all partner focused. Absolutely. And they're all channel focused. And their desire is not to have those direct relationships. So it's a two-way. You know, if you're the vendor in the beginning, you're sort of thinking, maybe I should start direct and then move to channel. And then you start getting a little bit bigger. Yep. And you're like, I can cut some costs out.
Right, absolutely.
Hey, thanks, Disty. You helped me get there. Now I'm going to go direct. Yep. They always come back.
Yep, it's a boomerang effect.
They always come back.
It's a boomerang of going, hey, you know what? Okay, great. We're going to take that piece back that we gave away. We're going to bring it back to our bottom line. Yeah. And then later, it's very it's very difficult to scale that. And I think back to if we think about it in the standpoint of who's picking up what pieces of this heavy lifting project, right? Of getting businesses together and growing them and all of this. I think a couple of things that you've said I think are really important for anyone who's watching to understand is that the time and the money saved by partnering with the Disty is like the boiled down version of what I hear from you, is that partnering with distributors to do that heavy lifting for you saves you a whole lot of time and money while you're trying to build out. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you're a
and there's more.
Yeah, there's more. If you're a value-added reseller, you're an MSP.
Right.
What is your core job? What is your core function? And how do you make money? You don't make money by selling products.
Right.
You make money by selling services.
Yep.
So if you want to focus on making money on selling products and services, you now have just divided
your
entire company. Stay focused on the things that make you the most money and add the most value to the end user, and let us carry the burden of everything else.
Absolutely. Well, I think the other thing, I agree completely. I think the other thing that you shared before about the consultants, though, is that it's not only, hey, let us just care about the product for you, because I do think that that's number one checkbox. Right. Okay, Disty will care about the product. If I'm an MSP, I don't have to worry about it.
Table stakes.
Yeah, done. Right. Now that comes with the territory. We all know that Disty will absolutely care about the product and vet things and do all of that and create those large relationships. And I know we probably won't even dig this far into it, but there's a lot that comes along with those large relationships too. Other value of building that relationship and bringing it to the partner that would be hard for them individually to get on their own. But that next piece of, okay, concentrate on your services, and not only that, but we're going to help you refacilitate what your service offering should look like from a consultative perspective. So I think that's very, very cool.
Yes.
So before we part, because I feel like we could talk about this all day.
We can take this all day.
So before we part, if there's one thing that you can share with a partner or a vendor to reconfigure how someone might think about distribution today, if you could rebrand right now in real time, we're going to rebrand distribution.
Oh boy, okay.
If we could rebrand distribution for some of the thoughts that might be swirling, anyone who would say, hey, I think distribution's kind of dead, like let's just do this direct game, like don't even worry about it, rebrand it for them. What is distribution today?
So, oh gosh, this is a good one. And it's very personal to me, right? So 20 years in distribution, this is never the place I thought I would be. It's just where I've stayed. And I stay because I love it, and I think it's because we care. We don't make anything. So our role in the channel is not to create, it's to facilitate and bring solutions together. And all of the folks that do that and work with the partners, we're there to support them. We're not trying to take businesses away, we're trying to help them advance. So there is a huge, aspect of it being caring and fulfilling for a lot of different people. And I know those are, it's soft words, but
no, I hear you though.
It's just different. It just feels like, the Disty of the old day, it's so stiff and old, and it's just the numbers, and this is the way things have to be. And now it's more around, let's build this ecosystem of a family and drive business together. Yes. None of us are trying to put anybody else out of business. We're all just trying to
facilitate
build
growth
together.
I totally agree. I think that's a great way to put it, because I think the relationship.
That's not really rebranding distribution.
No, it's not. No, it is in the sense though of humanizing distribution, because I think that's what you just did. You humanize distribution by saying that we care, right?
Yes.
So if you're in Disty, you care about the facilitation of growth for the partner and the vendor, and I think that in itself is what makes a humanized aggregator and business developer in the channel, right? That channel glue, and you humanize it by saying that we don't just push boxes. We're not just that. We care to grow your business by putting in consultants, by thinking about business development, by figuring out how to grow, by bringing in net new offerings and helping you get to that next level. And it's all about relationships right now. You mentioned family, and a lot of times we'll put out a little hashtag that's like #channel_family, because that's what it's like. I mean, we're a gigantic family in this space.
We have to support each other all day long.
And we do. And no one's going anywhere anytime soon. It's a matter of remorphing and rebranding and transforming into the next version of value to the partner, to the channel, to the vendor, and I think that's awesome. So
you never know who's going to marry into your family.
You don't, exactly. You have no idea, and also don't burn bridges, right? So
you might be married to that family soon.
Yes, and then that's all good things. And so acquisition is hot right now, but making sure though too that when thinking about Disty, they are the person that is in your corner. They're the person that cares the most about the growth of your business. They're the person that's in it for you, not them, and they're going to help you get there. So I think that was an awesome rebrand of distribution.
You're really good at restating.
No, it's good. That's what you said. So thank you for joining us, Heather, and thank you for the take on distribution, because I think that there's a lot to be learned, and thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you soon.